Finally, all the info you want to know about the perfect grade new Gundam Unleashed has been dropped. Bandai has lifted the lid on this kit at the Shizuoka Hobby Show, which is going on right now over in Japan, and mainly it's all good news for the most part. It looks awesome, there's tons of nice features, and it is shaping up to be one of the craziest Gundam kits of all time. However, on the flip side, there is one kind of bad aspect to it. It may just be one of the most expensive full release perfect grades of all time, clocking in at almost 3 times the price of the last few perfect grade kits that we've seen. But yeah, as usual, this video right here is sponsored by Hobby Link Japan, so if you do want to pre-order this yourself, keep an eye on there because of course, first pre-orders are the ones that will be fulfilled, and as usual, I will throw a link down there in the description. It's not for pre-order as of right now, but I assume it will be pretty soon. So jumping on over to the Gundam.info website, so I guess this is such a big release that they've even released all of the information about it in English, so I will throw a link down there in the description if you want to check out this website for yourself. It's interactive, it's very cool, and there's lots of extremely nice news. Of course, the down point being the price, so I might as well get right into it. This is celebrating the 45th anniversary of Gunpla by outright missing the 45th anniversary of Gunpla. It's out next January, so January 2026 is when it's being released. Again, this year is the anniversary, not next year. As for the price, this costs 60,000 yen. That is the Japanese suggested price without tax. So with tax in Japan, that's 66,000 yen. As for what that is in euro and dollars, that's $410 or 366 euro. And again, that is without any kind of added on costs that may come with import. So before we actually jump into the actual kit itself, I'm just going to put it into context here. The very first perfect grade Gundam that came out was 12,000 yen, Zaku was 12,000 yen, Wing 15,000 yen, Mark II 15,000 yen, Strike 14,000, Astray 18,000. Then Bandai made them a lot more perfect than they were from back then. We got into the 25,000 for 00, 25,000 for Strike Freedom, it dropped down to 19,000 for the perfect grade Unicorn Gundam no lights, 18,000 Exia no lights, 25,000 for the perfect Strike Gundam, and the unleashed version of the RX-78-2, which was the last one to come out, was 25,000 yen. So this kit, the perfect grade new Gundam, is almost, well, twice the price and then some as the RX-78-2 Gundam Unleashed. But in a way, it kind of looks like it. It's a big kit, there's a lot more in it than we saw with that kit, but 60,000 yen? It's a pricey, spicy nugget, but let's see what we get for that price. So back onto the website, this is the dedicated website to the actual release. It's a very nicely made website. There is a Japanese version and an English version available. I'm going to go through the English one, it's a little bit easier. And like it says right there, linking stories with new building experiences, the perfect grade Unleashed new Gundam. Scrolling down a little bit and there's a little bit of a blurb, basically about the new Gundam in the actual show. What it says is, at the time of its creation, the new Gundam was considered the ultimate mobile suit and provided the impetus for Amuro's final confrontation with Char. To honor Gunpla's 45th anniversary in 2025, New Gundam, which had once disappeared within the light of its own psycho energy, will reappear with the help of the perfect grade Unleashed line's cutting-edge modeling technology. And then it goes on to say RX-78 nothing, RX-93 New Gundam, the dedicated new type mobile suit designed with input from Amuro Ray and the Lando Bell's secret weapon. Fin funnels, the Saikamu armaments, superior at both attack and defense, Psycho Frame, an innovative and unpredictable high-tech material developed by Char. Down a little bit further and we've got some more information. What it says is, the visual appearance and dynamism of the anime's mobile suit reproduced in 1/60th scale. There's 3 points here, that's the ultimate unit system, detailed molding only possible with large model fin funnels and armament, and point 3 says it's coming soon. Now I'm not sure exactly what that might be, some of the weapons, maybe there might be an add-on kit, or it could be something to do with the actual LED unit that is with this kit that is sold separately. And I will mention that again, LEDs are not included in the 60,000 yen price tag. Moving down a little bit further, and again, some more information about the actual movie and the unit itself. You can read that if you want to. Again, I'll put the link down there. Then, point 1, Ultimate Unit System. This brand new 1/60th scale figure recreates the suit's interior composition with great detail. By assembling the parts for its solid and logical structure, you can experience mobile suit building for yourself. Now, this is a cool concept. If this is actually built like an actual mobile suit would be on the inside, that would be very fancy. A lot of the time, when you're actually building mobile suits or Gundam model kits, what's actually inside is just a frame to hold the outer parts together. You don't actually see the actual internal functioning structure aspects, so it'll be interesting to see what Bandai will be doing. If they do reproduce it that well, the price tag is looking a little less spicy. Moving down a little bit, and there is some more information on this, and you can click on all this stuff to find out a little bit more, so we might as well do that. Head, right here is some information on the head. And what it says is a head whose outline has been converted to 3 dimensions to simulate its maintenance state as well. Recreates the new Gundam's unique characteristics, from its 4-blade antennae to its upwardly sloping camera eyes and head-mounted Vulcan guns that fire live rounds. So there we go. So you've got a lot of detail in the head. We've got maintenance hatches. And again, if you haven't seen my video of the actual metal structure new Gundam, this is actually looking quite similar to that. They actually open in a very similar kind of way. That figure, which was extremely expensive compared to this, did actually have opening aspects very similar to stuff on here, but I am seeing some detail, especially that little gold piece, or should I say gold pieces that are on the V-fin, inside of the intakes on the side of the head. All of that sort of nice detailing is not something we would have seen on that figure. Next up is the shoulder, and it says shoulders that look simple but whose movable structure allows for major variation. The curved portion of the armor folds upwards, splitting the lateral plates on either side, which can then individually turn or slide. The square-shaped vernier is also movable. In addition, the bases of each shoulder move so as not to interfere with the arm mobility, and the shoulders can spring upwards overall. Again, quite similar again to stuff we would have seen on that particular figure. It's a nice motion, things open up nicely, and it's always nice to have opening hatches and gimmicks. Next up, the chest, a chest with multi-layered structure and mobility that truly make it the figure's heart. The chest central block and the lateral armor unfold, and the red hatch slides open, revealing the inner cockpit block. To enable figurative movements such as bending forward and twisting, the chest and torso have movable inner parts. The drum-shaped shoulder joints also swing upwards and downwards, so overall looking nice. Those shoulders, the drum shoulders they're talking about, they look spick and span, they look cool. Overall though, looking very tasty. Next up then is the arms. Arms with mechanisms at multiple locations to enable a wide range of mobility. The joints in the upper arms and elbows roll or rotate, and the wrists also turn. The left forearm recreates gimmicks, such as the beam saber storage rack. So everything is self-explanatory there. A lot of nice movement. We got sliding gimmicks there. The bend looks nice, and we have a piston round back, which is a nice touch too. Overall, beautiful. Next up is the waist unit, and it says a waist that shifts in coordination with the skirt armor for rich expression. The skirt armor and the waist include unseen mechanical details that recreate gimmicks like the deployable armor hatch. Release the locks to shift the waist forward and backwards. The position of the hip joints can also be changed, so there's a lot going on inside these hips. In the images we can see lots of nice detail, lots of opening little hatches too, and some nice tilting aspects to the actual upper platform that attaches into the upper body. That looks cool. Again, nice. Definitely not the kind of detail that we saw on the RX-78 Unleashed. There's a lot more going on here, and I do see some of those nice little kind of thick stickers too in green and red. Now this is pretty cool right here. It says all 5 fingers have movable manipulator tips that represent dummy MS thrusters. The 5 finger joints of each hand, bases of each wrist, and other parts recreate the palm movements that occur when objects are gripped. The covers of the fingertips open to reveal dummy MS thrusters, additional attachable hands with closed fists, open palms, or carrying weapons are also included. In case you're not familiar what that actually means, this mobile suit shoots dummy balloons of itself out of its fingertips, basically as decoys. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. We saw it very recently in G-Quacks as well, but to actually attach these into the tips, there's a lot of detail here again. That price point, not looking so rough. Those look like some nice hands. Next up is the legs. Legs with mechanisms for sliding and movement that ensure a full range of mobility without compromising their design. Armor covering the knee pads and thighs split and slides in conjunction with the knee joints. Thruster covers over the thighs, knee pads, calves, and feet open. So yeah, loads of covers that open up, a very nice detailed leg. We have those cool grippy little bits that it has on its feet, basically for grabbing onto them asteroids, and pistons in the knees. The variation of color looking very, very nice here. But yeah, that is it for all of that detail. Sliding down a little bit more, and we've got point 2. Fin funnels and armaments with the distinctive detailing only achievable in a large-scale model. In Universal Century 0093, New Gundam was considered the ultimate mobile suit. While the core design is reminiscent of the RX-78-2 Gundam, its backpack mounted with fin funnels that are adept at both attack and defense, setting it apart from Neo Zeon's Saikamu armaments. So yeah, these do look extremely nice. Hopefully they did nail it on this kit. Bandai has made lots and lots of versions of the new Gundam, and the fins and the fin funnels and the whole wing round back tend to be the kind of biggest pain in the arse with them because they can be a little bit funny. They can fall off usually quite easily or get in the way or set the whole thing off balance. But so far looking nice. Again, some nice green lenses in all of the different sensors and stuff. This is looking nice. Some more information here. It says, large-scale restructuring of all Saikamu armaments using fin funnels. Recreates 3 deployment states through sliding and rotatable parts that are also secure. They're really underlining that secure. I like to see that. It looks like we do have some of those metal engraved parts there. I'm not quite sure. We did have those on the RX-78 Unleashed, so I expect to see them again. We've got some of those nice stickers, I assume are stickers, for the red light sections on them, and overall looking great. We do have an actual included base in here. That was my biggest issue with the RX-78-2 Unleashed. Even the fact that they never actually fully released a base for using with it kind of sucks. Now, one thing I will mention is there is an LED unit section right empty at the bottom of that. So, you may or may not have seen with the Exia Perfect Grade as well as the Unicorn Perfect Grade. Usually inside that is a little box of batteries, and that is for using with the LED unit. Now, if this is a full-fledged LED unit running through it, which I assume that it is, more than likely the entire psycho plate of this will light up when it is turned on. So expect that to be expensive. If we flip back over to HobbyLink one more time, the difference in price between the Exia without lights and the Exia with lights was almost double the price. Same with the Unicorn Gundam, it was 19,000 yen without them, and then you had to buy the LED units separately. There's no price for them right there, but they were a little bit on the expensive side. And the worst thing is, as of those particular kits, the LED units could have been a lot better. They don't have any kind of exterior power supply or anything like that. They work on batteries, they time out real quick. We'll see what Bandai does. Hopefully something a little better than before, but still not included at 60,000 yen. That's a big ouch. Anyway, what it says here is by attaching support parts to the post that forms the base, you can securely display your Gundam complete with its fin funnel armament. So it seems like the actual fin funnels might attach onto the actual action base as well as the Gundam itself. Next up is the beam rifle, and it says beam rifle and shield equipped with sliding and deployable gimmicks. The carry handle can be rotated and deployed while the 4 end parts slide. Again, similar enough to what we would have seen with the Tamashii Nations figure. It did have a lot of nice pop-up parts, a removable magazine. It was very nice, and it seems like they might be doing something a little bit similar here. There's the shield. It says with the help of dedicated joint parts, the shield equipped with a beam cannon and 4 missiles can be mounted on either the left or the right forearm. Now that's nice. That's not usually a case with this particular unit because of the 2 arms being slightly different, so that's unique. Next up, it says 2 types of beam sabers. Comes with 2 types of beam sabers. The beam saber that can be attached to the backpack has a curved blade and can also emit a beam blade from the bottom of the grip. This product also equipped with clear pink effect parts. Now, nothing is mentioned here about lights. If we actually flash back to the Perfect Grade Unleashed RX-78-2, there was an actual LED unit inside of the actual beam saber to light that up, which was a really cool touch, and they're the kind of fishing lure LEDs that last so long. Mine still turns on to this day, and it has been years. It doesn't say anything here about that. Next up is the new Hyper Bazooka and support arm. New Hyper Bazooka. The new Hyper Bazooka has gimmicks such as a sliding barrel, a rotatable grip, and detachable magazine or warheads. Very nice, and again similar to what we would have seen with the figure. There's an image of the backpack, and these support arms are so cool. So basically it's a little bit of a support arm that attaches into the backpack and then can hold up or hold onto the various weapons in here in an almost kind of, I don't know, feels a little bit Advance of Zeta or something similar like that. That is cool. It's a nicely designed arm and very gunpla looking. Next up then we do have a gallery of all the shots. Again, these are all CG imagery, so all of these are kind of just renders. You're not really seeing what the actual product looks like. Now, there is a whole bunch of pictures from various people posted on Twitter or X about the actual kit, so we'll blast over those in a couple of seconds, see what the actual finished model does look like. But yeah, there we go. It's the 45th anniversary of Gunpla, Perfect Grade Unleashed New Gundam, 1/60th scale, 60,000 yen not including tax. And like it says, exclusive LED units sold separately. That's probably the point 3 that isn't mentioned, and I assume because it has that little unit underneath, it does have a kind of light effect, or changing light or flickering light kind of effect that we would have seen with the Exia and the Unicorn. Something similar I would be expecting. But overall though, that's it from that website. Alright, so blast on over to X to check out some people's pictures of the actual kit on display. So this right here is what it does look like, so it's looking very, very nice. In case you don't know, the new Gundam is a very tall Gundam compared to other Gundams in various Gundam universes, and compared to the RX-78-2, it is a good size bigger, and that is not even including the wing. So this is going to be a monolith of a kit. This is going to be standing in and around, I would say, unicorn perfectibility in height with that wing. Overall, the detail does look great. This looks like it doesn't have any of the kind of additional aspects attached on just yet. I'm not really seeing any of those kind of nice thick stickers that really reflect back the light in the kind of green and red sort of way, so those don't seem to be on it just yet. But then again, it could just be the pictures. I am seeing something a little bit in that sensor up on its shoulder. Overall, looking nice. Big, the proportions are definitely cool, and we have some unique things on the fin funnels there that don't look quite complete. But I guess we'll be seeing a little bit more about those in future. So there's also this different display model of it as well. This is definitely more of an actual prototype. I guess it's trying to show the actual articulation to this kit. It does look awesome. I've always been a fan of the new Gundam without the fin funnel backpack. I think the overall proportions look a little bit better, and it's just a great take on the actual Gundam itself. Now I'm just looking directly up at the figure of this right now and looking at the images, and something tells me this is even going to be a more handsome looking version of the new Gundam than that super expensive metal structure figure. There's just something about it. It's looking exceptionally nice, and I think I'm seeing some psycho plate, even though of course it's not in color yet, inside of some of those parts. That's looking like some nice articulation. One issue sometimes with perfect grade kits is the articulation can be a little bit on the basic side, but that is not a basic looking leg. A little bit of a close-up here. This is definitely a painted prototype by the look of things, not an actual fully kind of fleshed out plastic model. You can actually see that that's definitely paint on there, especially the gold on the upper chest. Overall though, it is looking nice. The geometry is nice, the design is nice, that new Gundam glare is nice. Yeah, nice. Now there is also this post as well from Bandai Spirits, and this does actually lead to a little bit of a background of the actual design of this particular kit. Now I'm not going to go through all of this, so I will throw a link to this as well so you can kind of get a gist to what the designers were actually thinking when they were designing this kit. It is pretty cool to kind of see the prototype building up like this image right here. Some parts are just in clear, some parts are in that kind of primer color of gray, and it would be nice to see more of the actual, maybe some videos about the actual design, a deep dive into how they do design and put things together, but I suppose that would give their competitors a little too much information into how they actually go through the process, so it makes sense that they don't, but still it is nice to have a little bit of an article about the ins and outs of the thoughts behind this kit. As for some of the points they do make here, it does say that it is 370 millimeters tall, so that is 37 centimeters, which is pushing around 15 inches, so I'm not sure if that includes the wing or not, but it does say that just like the RX-78 Unleashed, this is a multi-layered build. If you haven't seen my video about that, basically you build the internal structure, then you build some parts onto that, including etched parts, and all of that before the actual armor itself goes on, and then the various decals and stickers on top of it. So it's a very nice, very fluid build, and even though there is a lot of building to it, you always feel like you've a finished piece after each of the steps. It is impressive, and I'm really looking forward to going through that again, just this time with the new Gundam. Next, it talks a little bit about the actual assembly and the posability of the kit, which is interesting. Apparently they've got some feedback from people that they don't like the hands and certain other aspects. So the hands now have a little bit more articulation to them, which is impressive enough already. And it does say that they have worked a little bit harder on getting some more actual articulation into the kit itself. Now, personally, that would have been my biggest pet peeves when it comes to perfect grade kits, that you've got so much detail, they're huge and they're awesome, but the actual articulation is a little bit limited. The RX-78-2 Unleashed was quite good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this one can pull off. Next up, it mentions the issues involved with actually building a very big kit or the life-size statue. They mention that too, and the actual effect that does have on the weight of the finished product. So it does say that the biggest issue was the fin funnel wing, as you would expect, but apparently they seem to be quite happy with what they came up with, so I cannot wait to see. And finally, it ends off saying that this kit was designed with long-time dedicated fans of the series and Gunpla in mind. So this is going to be high-end, super detailed, and fantastic by the looks of things. It's going to be a long way till January, that's a whopping 8 months, but honestly, it is shaping up to look pretty cool. So what are your thoughts on the perfect grade new Gundam Unleashed? Excited about it? Happy about it? Disappointed by that price? Let me know down there in the comments. Are you going to be grabbing one for yourself, or is this one you're going to be passing on? For me, I am super excited. It looks like it's going to be incredible. The fact that it comes with a stand is nice, but the fact that it looks like it may be kind of stuck to the stand in order to hold itself in the wing, kind of like we see with some of the perfect grade unicorn Gundams, is a little bit on the disappointing side. Also, the price tag is crazy. Is this the way Gunpla is going to go? Because if it keeps trebling in price, whew, that's gonna get rough. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gundam news and reviews, and I'll see you next time.